Security Plus certification. Objective 1.3.1. Business processes impacting security operations. Change management is a critical process in any organization, particularly in maintaining security. It involves systematically managing changes to business processes, systems, and infrastructure to minimize disruptions and ensure that security is maintained throughout the change process. Poorly managed changes can introduce vulnerabilities, disrupt services, or result in non-compliance with security policies. In this section, you will learn some key concepts such as the approval process, ownership, stakeholders, impact analysis, test results, backup plan, maintenance window, and a standard operating procedure or SOP. The approval process ensures that all changes are reviewed and approved by appropriate stakeholders before implementation. It prevents unauthorized changes that could introduce vulnerabilities or disrupt security operations. Ownership assigns responsibility for the change, ensuring accountability and proper management. The main purpose of ownership is to clarify who is responsible for the security implications of a change, reducing the risk of overlooked vulnerabilities. Sometimes there are changes in which uh, the responsibility may be the IT team or the responsibility may be the security team. You need to clarify that. And then within those teams, there has to be a specific person. So the responsibility must be assigned to a person that will do those changes. And so when those changes are done, then that person is accountable. Now, this specific person may not be the person that's implementing the change. So let's say that there is a change that it's going to be performed, and the CISO, it's the owner as the head of the department or security manager or whatever the case may be. Normally, that manager, that director, that CISO will assign that responsibility to someone within the security team. And the same would happen if it's done by someone in the IT team. But the key point is that ownership of this type, when something is going to be performed, it's not good enough that it's assigned to a group, because if something happens, then okay, then who within the group was actually the person that had to do the change and the time that had to the change to be performed, and that kind of stuff. So ownership, again, it's then extremely important for accountability. The concept of stakeholders here refers to that all people involved, all involves basically all relevant parties in the decision-making process. The main goal here is to ensure that all potential security concerns are considered and addressed. Many cases, there are changes that would affect an entire department, that would affect the entire company. So in that case, people from different departments, the IT department must be informed, the security department must be informed, but maybe the help desk manager must also be informed. But what about the change is a database that affect also the accounting department and the human resources? Well, the stakeholders from those departments must also be informed. In many cases, and this is a big problem that happen in many companies, is that give an example, there's going to be some changes in the network team. The network team doesn't inform anybody. Now, the network is a core service in any company, basically meaning that a lot of the other services and applications that run in a company depends on networking services. So let's say you have an Exchange server. Well, Exchange depends on the network to be healthy and working properly. If the networking team makes a change to the network, that may affect Exchange, right? But the Exchange administrator didn't know that there was going to be Exchange, and all of a sudden, Exchange is not working. And after spending hours, and again, I speak from experience, but after spending hours of troubleshooting, then you learn that, oh, well, yeah, a port was closed or a firewall rule was changed, and that was not communicated properly. Many people in the IT department sometimes do not like to communicate because they think that if they communicate, people will have questions, and the main thing is that because we tend to blame the networking team for many things. So if anything happens, they think that they're going to be blamed when maybe whatever happened has nothing to do with that. So the whole point here is that when there are changes, people need to be communicated, and the communication must be transparent, and you must communicate to as many people as possible. Yes, I understand sometimes you don't want to uh, scare people. I mean, communicating to the wrong kind of people may have a negative consequences, but it is very important to ensure that all potential security concerns are, again, considered and addressed, and we involve the necessary people to do that. Impact analysis uh, refers to assessing the potential effects of a change on the organization, including its security posture. Basically, this identifies potential risks or negative consequences, allowing for mitigation strategies to be developed. Obviously, every time there is a change is because either something will be improved or we're going to correct an issue or misconfiguration, or maybe there is a security vulnerability. Uh, The intent of a change is to make something that it's bad or improve something. But um, many times there are unintended consequences when this change happen. So impact analysis is extremely important. You need to figure out as much as you can. This is not always possible, and some changes are very complex, but you have to do your due diligence and investigate as much as possible what kind of impact that change will have in the organization, the system, the programs, the whatever it is that um, it's being changed. When it comes to test results, providing evidence that the change has been tested and will not negatively affect security or operations, it's perfect. It's great. We would love to always be able to do that, but that's not always possible. Now, test results again ensures that all potential security concerns are considered and addressed, and we should strive to do that as much as we can. Again, depending on the nature of the change in the systems, sometimes there are not test systems in place, and also depending on if it's a critical in a critical systems, you don't have duplicate of everything. In many cases, you have to basically trust the vendor, and most vendors, obviously, they do their tests. But again, every system is different. Every configuration is different. So uh, changes that work in one environment may not work in another environment because of the characteristics of that system and that environment. So again, we should always try to test the results as much as possible, but it's not always the case. There's other strategies that we can do, if we can not do the test results, but again, test results are extremely important. A term that is, or concept that is very in alignment with the test result, it's the backup plan, right? Which provides a plan to revert changes if something goes wrong. So a backup plan ensures that security can be quickly restored if a change introduces unforeseen problems. Again, we should always have a backup plan. It is not always possible, but it's part of the due diligence when we are doing uh, performing changes in any organization. The maintenance window refers to schedules, right? The when the change it's going to occur, and the main point here is to minimize disruption. So the maintenance windows reduces the impact on security operations by implementing changes during low risk periods. Some changes can be performed during normal business hours without any interruption, but some changes may have to be done at night when there are none or fewer people, or in many cases, a lot of companies do changes on a weekend. Again, the whole point is to minimize any disruption. Finally, on the list of um, key terms of this session, SOP, the Standard Operating Procedure, provides detailed instructions for performing changes consistently and securely. SOP ensures that changes are made in a controlled and secure manner, reducing the risk of errors. This is another piece that many companies do not have well uh, documented procedures. Again, SOPs should be standard in most companies to make sure that those changes are controlled, right? And that not only that, but that if a person or leaves the company, a person, the owner of a specific change leaves the company, there should be a document so that a new person can comes in and perform those changes as well. That's another key important piece of that. All right, so this is the end of this session. Thank you for watching if you're there. If you have any questions, you can email me at learn@certoday.com. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel to continue producing this videos. The ebook, it's not available on Amazon yet as of this recording, but it will soon be on Amazon.com. So if you want a uh, concise, detailed, really useful guide to pass the certification exam, it will be available. This guide has a lot of useful information, and it has a lot of simulation questions to prepare you for the Security Plus. So um, again, keep on watching these videos. I will keep you informed when the guide is available, but it's almost done and it will be available on Amazon.com. Thank you.